What's up, guys? I just want to do a quick review of this Glock field knife I picked up recently. This is the Glock Feldmesser or Field Knife 81. Made in Austria, just like everything else by Glock generally. Well, they have factories here now in Smyrna, Georgia too, but yeah, this knife is sweet, guys. So basically, I've been planning on getting one of these. I mean, I'd wanted to get one of these for probably about maybe 3 or 4 years, but I never pulled the trigger on it because I figured why buy that when I've got, a K-bar. It's my trusty K-bar here. Very similar looking knives. They seem, you kind of look at it and you think, why buy this when I could buy this? Well, this is a heavy duty knife. This thing is, much heavier than this. And this is a great knife, don't get me wrong. Everyone should own a K-bar. But the story is with this Glock knife, let me get this out of the way here. The story with the Glock knife, why I bought it, was because recently I was contemplating buying a set of Boker John Bailey designed Zeal throwing knives just for shits and giggles. And it was like a set of 3 knives for like $50 or something. And they're supposedly pretty good, whatever. I mean, I'm not trying to get way into throwing knives or anything. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to screw around with. And kind of started watching some reviews of throwing knives, and this knife kept coming up. And apparently, so the story is, this knife was basically designed for the Austrian Army Rangers. Austrian Army Rangers, that is, and as opposed to our Army Rangers. The knife was designed, originally it was the Feldmesser model 78. This is the 81. It's just the same knife. The only difference is that this has the double kerf saw edge on top. I just kind of got that one. I don't know. Just, I don't really have any knives with a saw edge. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me, whatever, but, and I got it in sand because my K-bar is in foliage green. I kind of wanted something that was more similar to the current theater of combat. The Middle Eastern theater of combat, as it were. Just wanted a sand-colored knife this time. But, yeah, the handle, I mean, you can see the handle is very similar to a K-bar handle. Although this is Kraton. This is like a rubber that gets sticky when it gets wet. This is a harder plastic. The blade, this thing weighs about 7.1 ounces only. It's much lighter than the K-bar. I'll get to that in a second, but yeah, the blade is like about 6.5 inches. I think the overall length is like 11.5 inches. And the blade is made out of 1065 spring steel, if I'm not mistaken. It's got a Rockwell hardness of 55, so it's pretty heavily duty made. I mean, this knife only costs $30 with tax, but very, very heavily made. And you can see, I mean, I beat the hell out of it. I've only had this knife in my possession for about a week and a half, and it's taken a beating. I mean, once the I gotta say, the finish does wear off fairly easy. Once the finish starts to wear off, you do have to keep it oiled or it will rust. But the tip and everything, I mean, it really is held up well, hitting, being thrown around and whatnot. So yeah, so the story is that the knife was designed, you got this end cap here. You can take this end cap off. I'm not going to do it right now to show you because I'm worried that if I take it out, it'll be easier to take in and out, and it might just like fall off very easily, so I'm not going to mess with that. But if you pry this end cap off, there's a tube, a steel tube that goes down about, yay far. And this knife was actually designed, even though it's Glock, it was designed by Gaston Glock to work as a bayonet for a Steyr Austrian Universal Gewehr, or Steyr AUG. It was also balanced to be able to be used as a throwing knife. So this knife, it's not really a hacker. It's not a chopper. It's more of a stabber or bayonet or just a throwing knife if need be. Although, of course, if you've only got a knife on you and you're in combat, you're not going to just throw your knife away right away like that. You're going to keep that knife on you. But point being, it's very well balanced. I don't know. Let me see if I can balance it here. It's like right behind the hilt. Yeah, it's like right there is about where the balance point is. And yeah, but this thing, so yeah, so I was going to buy, point being, I was going to buy a set of throwing knives, and I started seeing this, videos of this knife and thought, well, what the hell? it'd be cooler just to learn how to throw a combat style knife anyways, as opposed to a knife that's kind of just, designed for throwing, that doesn't really, it's probably not the sharpest. It probably just has a point, but isn't really sharp. This thing's pretty damn sharp out of the box, and it's got, good point on it too. But so yeah, so I picked up this knife basically with the intention of just using it as kind of a throw around knife, like literally throwing it around. I mean, I kind of tried throwing my K-bar a little bit, and it works, but it's a little bit heavy and a little bit awkward. Believe me, there's videos of people who are experts at throwing a K-bar. They can throw them lightning fast and deadly accurate. But my K-bar is kind of just like, a general purpose tool. It's not really, I didn't want to like, break it or mess it up. And these have a reputation of being able to just be beat the hell out of and not fall apart. So that was basically the thought process behind it. But yeah, I'm very impressed. I'm no knife throwing expert, but I gotta say, it came very easily. I mean, just the first day, I've literally only been throwing this for probably 3 trips walking by the river. I've probably only put about maybe an hour and 20 minutes into throwing. I mean, when you're throwing a knife, you throw a knife for maybe 15, 20 minutes. It feels like you've been doing it for an hour, but then you look at your watch or whatever, and it's like, oh shit, I've only been doing this for about 10 minutes. So you get a lot of practice in a short amount of time. I mean, the time goes by really slow. But anyways, yeah, enough talking. I'll just let the footage basically speak for itself. Yeah, I'll just show you guys the footage. Well, guys, that's the Glock Feldmesser 81, or field knife model 1981. Like I said, same as the model 78, just the 78 doesn't have the double kerf saw on it. And these knives come, I got this tan one, but they come in different colors. You can get black or green or what have you. But yeah, guys, if you're just looking for $35 with tax, I mean, shit, this thing's really, very sturdy, really well built. If you just need an outdoor knife or kind of like a field knife, or if you're like me, you just want something to play with in the backyard, throwing around, pick one of these up, man. I gotta say, honestly, this and my K-bar are my 2 favorite knives I own right now. I mean, this is like, I'm just so happy with my purchase on this. It's just fun. It's like throwing darts, it's like a game. But yeah, it comes with this nice sheath too. Heavy duty polymer sheath that you got this little thing in here, little nub there on both sides. So yeah, clips in real good. One of the things I do like is that you can put it in either way. It isn't like the K-bar. The K-bar clips in on its polymer sheath by the hilt, the edges, so if the hilt gets bent, it won't clip in. But this doesn't matter if it gets a little bent from throwing or whatever, it just clips in real nice. And, you know, real easy to slip on and off, take on and off, you know. Just a great knife, guys. Yeah, I mean, pick one up and have fun with it, you know. If you get bored, go out in your backyard. If you have a yard, you know, that allows you to be able to throw knives. See, I just don't have a backyard really because we live in a condo, so I just throw it when I go walk by the river. But pick one up, guys, and screw around with it. You'll be surprised how easy it comes throwing it. It's just very, very easy to throw. Comes very naturally. And yeah, it's Glock, you know. Glock kicks ass, you know. We all love Glock, don't we? So anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Kaiser out.